We'll let you set that. All right, welcome all. We've got a couple of things to cover today. It's nice to have our Vice Mayor and James Clendenin with us also. It's my favorite time of year. This is the best weather. You know, I always like to brag that Wichita, if you look on our website, has the identical annual average temperature as San Diego. They just seem to hit their average every day. Ours are maybe a little more extreme. But we do have the same average daily temperature. We've got a couple of things we want to cover today. We have the downtown living tour that Jason Gregory is going to fill in the details of, and a lot of exciting things happening downtown. As you can see, more people moving into downtown, and we hear all the time that the occupancy rate for downtown is totally full. My mother moved downtown a few years ago and absolutely loves downtown living. So, Jason, I'm going to turn it over to you and let you share some information.
Mr. Mayor, thank you so much for the opportunity to talk about the Downtown Living Tour event. This will be the second year that we've hosted this. Last year was the initial first year that we ever did that, and we had a tremendous response from the public. You know, Project Downtown, the master plan for Wichita, continues to drive the progress we're seeing downtown, both nationally and also here locally. The millennial generation, along with the empty nester population, are showing that they have a desire for the urban living, the urban lifestyle, and really that's what's driving the residential development and the progress that we're seeing in the downtown area. In 2014, the Development Corporation contracted with a nationally recognized consulting firm, Zimmerman Volk Associates, and if you remember, they were part of the original participants for the Project Downtown Master Plan, and they looked at the market potential for downtown residential. So we had them come back in 2014 to reevaluate, reassess how the market had changed, and what they found was that downtown could absorb another 1,750 units over the next 5 to 7 years, up from around 1,200 what they had predicted back in 2010. To highlight all of the residential progress and the offerings we have, including many new properties that have come online just this year, we're going to have 18 properties that will be open from 1 to 5 on Sunday, October 2nd. Again, for the Downtown Living Tour. We'll also have WDDC staff on hand at the Pop-Up Urban Park, and that, most of you know, but if you don't, that's located between Market and Main Street along Douglas Avenue. We'll be there to answer questions. We'll also have food trucks on hand and public restroom facilities. This event is free and open to the public, and it showcases the unique living options that downtown has to offer in the form of a self-guided tour. So if those of you are familiar with the Parade of Homes, you'll be able to come and go at your own pace. You can start anywhere on the tour. We will have event shuttles providing free transportation throughout the event. And we encourage event goers to come downtown, park once, and either walk and or ride the shuttle between the different properties. Please visit downtownwichitalivingtour.com. I'll say that again, downtownwichitalivingtour.com for more information about the event, about the participating properties themselves. You'll also be able to find a map online, but then we'll have printed maps at each one of the locations, so you'll be able to pick that up no matter where you start on the tour and have a map event. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention our media sponsors, the Wichita Eagle, KMUW, and Q92. And as the mayor said, the weather forecast for Sunday looks fantastic, so we anticipate another great showing from the public. So hopefully everybody comes out and enjoys what downtown residential has to offer. Mr. Mayor.
Jason.
Thank you.
Jason, thank you. I obviously am very proud of our city. I've mentioned this before. Wichita is now the 46th largest city in the United States. We leaped over Detroit, Cleveland, and New Orleans last year. And much of it has to do with how our downtown continues to grow and prosper. And so some really good things happening in our city. The other item we want to talk about is Fire Prevention Week, which kicks off this Saturday, and there are a number of activities that they're going to have available for people to participate in. And I'm going to turn it over to Brad Crisp, who's a little bit more knowledgeable when it comes to fire prevention. And Brad's going to bring up his friend from the American Red Cross, and they'll both talk about some pretty neat activities that are happening in our community. Well, you guys have the floor.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, we're very excited to kick off Fire Prevention Week. We're actually doing the typical fire department thing, and we're taking more than what we're actually allowed to take because we're going to expand Fire Prevention Week over the course of 2 weeks. And a very important campaign is going to start this Saturday, and it's in partnership with the American Red Cross. It's actually called the American Red Cross Home Fire Campaign. And what they're doing is they're going throughout Oak Lawn and southeast Wichita this Saturday with the goal to install over 1,000 smoke alarms within our community. The goal is to reduce deaths and injuries in home fires by 25% because nationally, since the Home Fire Campaign has been implemented, they've actually documented where they've saved 111 lives with the Red Cross program by installing nearly 500,000 smoke alarms in people's homes over the course of 7,300 communities nationwide. And they want to bring that program to Wichita. We first did it last year on a smaller scale in northeast Wichita, and we're expanding that program now down to the southeast. So the Red Cross is going to go through Oak Lawn and southeast Wichita on October 1st, starting at 9 o'clock, to install smoke alarms in homes that need to have a smoke alarm and to teach people what they can do to protect themselves and their families from the ravages of fire. Joining the Red Cross is going to be the Wichita Fire Department, volunteers from Wichita State University, as well as the Derby ROTC and other community organizers and events. These groups of volunteers are encouraged, and they're still looking for volunteers to help out. They're going to gather at Oak Lawn Recreation Center at 4904 South Clifton at 8:30. The Red Cross is going to provide training to the volunteers when they show up, and then teams of these volunteers are going to go out into the community, knocking on doors, talking to their neighbors, talking to folks to find out if they have a fire safety plan, if they have smoke alarms, and if they don't, of course, one will be installed in their home. At least one will be installed in their home for free of charge. Any questions about that program? I also have Dicey with the American Red Cross, who is the subject matter expert, and she'd be happy to answer any of those specific questions. Okay, no questions. To continue with our Fire Prevention Week theme, on Sunday, we are hosting yet again the Kansas Fallen Firefighters Memorial. So this is on Sunday, October 2nd at 1300 South Broadway. The Wichita Fire Department, and I believe the mayor is going to be there as well, is hosting a ceremony to recognize those firefighters who have paid the ultimate price and given their lives in the service of their duty. This isn't just a Wichita memorial, this is a statewide memorial. The memorial will start at 1:30 and is scheduled to run for 2 hours till 3:30. And again, that's at 1300 South Broadway this Sunday. Then again, we pick up with fire prevention on Monday, October 10th. We'll be doing unannounced fire drills in the schools. The schools don't know that we're coming, although the administration does know that we're coming. The kids won't know and the teachers won't know which ones have been picked. And basically, the fire department shows up with a host of firefighters, and we have an unannounced fire alarm, and we watch the evacuation process in the school. It's an opportunity for us to critique the good things that happen in the schools, and they do a fine job, and to also give them some recommendations for when things don't go so well. On Tuesday, October 11th, is our biggest program of Fire Prevention Week. That's the 5th grade Fire Prevention Zoo Adventure. We'll be out at the Sedgwick County Zoo again this year. We typically have over 5,000 kids and a couple thousand of adults who are chaperones with them. And it's a great day to go out and meet not only your Wichita firefighters, but your Sedgwick County firefighters, EMS, the police department, the sheriff's department, the highway patrol. We typically have a large number of public safety entities out there that the kids actually get to interact with. It's not a deal where you walk by and you have to look at it from the gate. You actually get hands-on with your firefighters and other emergency service providers and get to learn about fire safety. It's truly a remarkable event that we have every year. That begins at 9 o'clock and runs until 2, and all of our fifth grade area schools have been invited, of course. On Wednesday, October 12th, we're going to do another program that we've had a long history with called the Fun and Learn at YMCA. We go to the North Branch YMCA from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. That's at 3330 North Woodlawn. And again, we have a number of community service partners out there, not just the fire department, but EMS and the highway patrol and the police department. And kids get that interactive learning and experience technique out there as well. On Wednesday, October the 12th, we'll also be partnering with Domino's Pizza, where people who are calling to order a pizza with Domino's, if they show up and Domino's asks them if they can test their smoke alarms and they have a smoke alarm and it works, they get their pizza for free. If they don't have their smoke alarms, we have a fire department member who is following them and will install one for free if they don't have one. So if you have one, you get a free pizza. If you don't have one, you're going to get a free smoke alarm. So it's a great partnership we have with them. Thursday, October 13th, we're doing our mobile prevention experience. That's our smoke trailer that we take out to different schools. We already have that scheduled to go to a couple of the area schools. If you want more information on that, I'll be glad to share that with you. That one's kind of set in stone. We don't have a lot of flexibility on that one. Friday, October 14th is our own local Wichita Fire Department smoke alarm installation blitz. So we're going to be encouraging folks during that week, if they need a smoke alarm, they can call our offices at 268-4441. We'll come out, the fire department will come out and not only install the smoke alarm if you don't have one, we'll put new batteries in the smoke alarms that you have. To date, we've installed only 85 smoke alarms this year. We've installed over 1,000 since the program began, and we want to be able to get as many smoke alarms out there as we can because we all know that smoke alarms obviously save lives. And then finally, on Saturday, October 10th, which is the last official day of Fire Prevention Week, we're opening up our neighborhood fire stations to the community. They're always open, but we're really encouraging people to come out on that day. Bring your family out there, meet your neighborhood firefighters. They're your neighbors every third day, and they live in your neighborhood, they work in your neighborhood, and we would like for you to get to know them and our folks to get to know you. The kids can get on the fire trucks and look around. They can try on the fire gear. We'll have fire safety pamphlets to hand out, and it's a really great time to get to know your neighbors, and we'd encourage people to come out and do that. They can show up anytime during the day. We're there 24 hours, so if the lights are on and the trucks are home, please stop by and say hello. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you both for being here today and great information. I was always told that people could stop by their neighborhood fire station and get their blood pressure checked. Is that still true today?
Still do that as well, yeah.
Which is a great service for those out in the community that just want to know what their blood pressure is, which is pretty important stuff.
Absolutely.
And what a great service to the community. So not only are they first responders, they're doing great work in a number of different ways in our communities, and we appreciate that very much. A couple other things that I will mention just so that everyone understands what's happening this next week with the mayor. I am headed to Mexico with some business leaders, including Antonio Suave, the Secretary of Commerce for the state of Kansas. We think there's some real potential for local businesses to expand their market, and so we're looking at doing that in Mexico this next week, and looks pretty promising for especially some aviation-centered companies. And when the Secretary of Commerce is going, it's some pretty good staff people that are helping us spearhead these efforts, and so we're looking forward to that. Myself and Councilmember Meissner will be attending a trade show conference down there in Mexico for about 4 days next week. So it should be a good week, and we're continuing to figure out ways to help our Wichita companies continue to prosper and find more opportunities so that we can build our employment base. So good stuff happening there. I will tell you, it's no secret, Cargill's very, very close to making their decision. We were hoping to surprise people and make it here today, which would have given you here today a little heads up, but they are just days away from making their announcement of where they're going to build their next facility. So we're looking forward to that announcement. We were pushing them kind of hard to do it today at this press conference, and they just didn't quite get all of the signatures in place, but they're very, very close to making that announcement. So other than that, we'll open it up if you have any questions. Yes.
One for the fire marshal. I was just curious, when you guys do these tours of installing smoke alarm, what's like, I guess, the average rate of people who don't have an alarm that you guys have seen in the past? Is it like 1 in 2, 1 in 3? Can you just kind of share how frequent that is?
Right, from the random surveys, and I would really have to ask Dicey, because we don't do ours randomly. We have a program by which people call us if they don't have one. So we know they don't have one when we show up. And we typically install anywhere from 2 to 3 smoke alarms per residence because they don't have them. Dicey, do you know in your survey last year how many people that you talked to that didn't actually have a smoke alarm?
I don't know the rate offhand, but we kind of do the same thing. A lot of it's just by request, so
Right.
that's where we're going.
Let me make a few phone calls when I get back upstairs, and I'll see if I can find out a statistic on that. I'll bet you it's close to half, but I'm not positive. Yeah.
Very good. Well, thank you all for coming today, and I'll see you in about 2 weeks.